Welcome to this brief guide on how to set up handy voice dictation on Windows. If you're running on Windows, you probably know the frustration of the standard voice dictation mode. While Windows key +H is a decent built-in option, it's often slower than most people need, and it has a tendency to cut off if you pause to think for even a second. It just doesn't feel as robust as the tools available on other platforms. I've featured Mac-based programs like Whisper Transcription before, but historically, there hasn't been a great high-performance equivalent for Windows users that leverages modern AI models. Well, that ends today. We're going to be looking at a fantastic program called Handy. Handy is a free, open-source application that allows you to speak into any text field using the latest AI models from OpenAI and NVIDIA. It's completely offline, incredibly fast, and brings professional-grade transcription to your desktop. So, let's get it set up. First, let's get the software. Head over to handy.computer. One of the best things about Handy is that it is truly cross-platform. So whether you're on an Apple Silicon Mac or an older Intel Mac or various Linux distributions, there is a version for you. For Windows users, notice that we have options for both standard x64 systems and even Windows ARM devices. I'm running on a standard Windows machine, so I'll click the big pink button to download the x64 installer. The download is super quick because the installer itself is quite small. Once it's finished, simply open the file to begin the setup. The installation process is a standard Windows experience. There's no bloatware, no ads, no complicated configurations. Just click Next twice and install. And within a matter of seconds, the program is ready to go. Now we'll leave Run Handy checked and hit Finish to launch the app for the first time. Now when you launch Handy for the first time, you'll be asked to select a transcription model. Think of this as the AI brain that will be listening to your voice. Now because Handy works entirely offline, it needs to download this model to your local hard drive. The recommended option is Parakeet v3. This is an excellent model that is both fast and accurate, and it works exceptionally well if you have a dedicated GPU in your computer. If you want even higher accuracy and don't mind a slightly slower processing speed, you might want to consider the Whisper Medium model. This is great for complex terminology or heavy accents. But for this setup, we're going to stick with the recommended Parakeet v3. Now, when you click download, it will pull about 400 to 500 megabytes. This is a one-time download. Once it's on your machine, your voice data never leaves your computer, ensuring total privacy. Now that our model is downloading, let's take a look at the general settings. At the top is your transcribe shortcut. The default is Control+Space, but if you click this box, you can type any keyboard combination that fits your personal workflow. And then below that is the push-to-talk toggle. If you leave this on, the app will only record as long as you are physically holding down your shortcut keys. Personally, I prefer to turn this off. When push-to-talk is off, the shortcut becomes a toggle. You simply tap it once to start talking, and tap it again when you're finished. This, in my opinion, is much better for long-form thoughts where you don't want to be focused on holding down a couple of keys. Moving down to the sound section, make sure that you select the highest quality microphone you have attached to your device from the dropdown rather than just leaving it on default. I also highly recommend enabling mute while recording so that any system sounds that are playing out of your speakers don't interfere with the AI recording. And definitely turn on audio feedback. This gives you a subtle chime so that you know exactly when the app starts and stops listening. Next, let's head into the advanced settings to refine how the app behaves on your system. To keep things seamless, I suggest toggling on Start Hidden and Launch on Startup. Basically, this means that Handy will be ready from the moment you log on to your PC, but it will stay tucked away in your system tray until you hit your shortcut. Next, the overlay position. This determines where the status bar appears while you're talking. This bar shows your volume levels so that you know that the app is hearing you. I prefer setting this to the bottom so that it stays tucked down near my taskbar and doesn't block the top of any of my applications. And then finally, check the unload model setting. I recommend leaving this on never. This keeps the AI model loaded into your RAM, ensuring that the very second you hit your shortcut, the app is ready to transcribe without any warm-up delays. And now we get to one of the most critical parts of the configuration, the output settings. The paste method determines how the transcribed text actually enters your application. The default is clipboard Control-V, and this is my primary recommendation. When this is selected, Handy takes your transcription and simulates the standard Windows paste command. This is much more reliable than the direct method, which tries to manually type every character into the field and can sometimes be interrupted by other background processes. Below that is clipboard handling. I highly recommend setting this to copy to clipboard. This creates a bit of a safety net. If you accidentally dictate into the wrong window, or if the paste doesn't quite land correctly, the text isn't lost forever. It is saved into your system clipboard. And if you use the Windows Clipboard History feature by pressing Windows key plus V, you'll have a running log of everything you've dictated, ready to be reused anywhere. Now, if you work in a specialized field with unique jargon, be sure to use the custom words section. If you find that the AI is consistently misspelling a specific name or a technical acronym, you can add it in here. The system will then prioritize those spellings in future transcriptions. And then finally, let's take a look at the History tab. This is where the app keeps a log of your recent transcriptions. If you ever lose a document or need to recover a specific thought, you can come back here and click the icon to copy the text back to your clipboard. You can also click Open Recordings folder to see the actual audio files. This is great for transparency and privacy, as you can actually see exactly what has been saved locally. You can even set an auto delete timer in the advanced settings to keep this folder from growing too large over time. Now, let's put everything we've configured into a real-world context. The true strength of Handy isn't just short commands. It's the ability to do long-form professional drafting. Unlike the built-in Windows tools, Handy doesn't have any time limits. You can speak for as long as you need to in order to develop a complex thought. I'll hit my toggle shortcut and draft a professional project update. Dear team, I wanted to provide a brief status update regarding the Q3 infrastructure migration. We have successfully completed the initial stress testing phase, and the performance metrics from the new server clusters are looking exceptionally positive. Moving into next week, our primary focus will shift toward data integrity verification and final API documentation. Please ensure that all department heads have reviewed the updated security protocols by Thursday at 5 p.m. Thank you for your continued diligence on this high priority initiative. Now notice that the overlay now says transcribing. Because Handy is working entirely offline on your local machine, the time it takes to transcribe is relative to the length of your speech and the power of your computer. For a long multi-paragraph block like this, it takes a few extra seconds to analyze the context, punctuation, and grammar. And there is our result. The punctuation is spot on, and it correctly handled the terms like Q3 and API. And because of our copy to clipboard setting, if I press the Windows key plus V, you can see that the entire block is sitting right there in my history. This is, without a doubt, one of the most robust ways to do voice-to-text on Windows today. And there you go. Handy is an amazing tool for anyone looking to speed up their workflows on Windows, Mac, or Linux. It's free, open source, and keeps your data private by running completely offline. So head over to handy.computer to download it today and start reclaiming some time. Let me know in the comments which model you find works best for your voice. Happy dictating, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to check out the channel. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.